Hello everyone, I'm Sean. Alright, and this is Everyday Food Reviews. Today, I've got another energy drink review. I don't want to call it a budget energy drink review, although these can be found quite cheap. It's a Polish energy drink review. We're looking at Black Energy. We're looking at the original and the sugar-free. I'm going to thumbnail it doesn't look weird. Okay, that'll be a first. So yeah, we got Black Energy drink from Poland, and just took it out the fridge. Got condensation all over the can already. We've got a white can for 0 sugar, and we've got a black can for original. Now I have just done a video just 10 minutes ago on Dragon and Red Alert, and just wash this glass. It's already dusty. Probably need to dust the house. The house is probably dusty. It's getting dust everywhere. Oh, that's not much better. Hopefully that doesn't show up too bad. And I know it's clean. I washed it. It's only me drinking out of it. Okay, so yeah, I did a video on Dragon and Red Alert, and I didn't feel like I'll put a link up there. It's probably uploaded by now, but this one might go up first. I don't know, I wasn't too happy with the video. I couldn't think of much to say about the Red Alert. Spent a lot of time thinking and not a lot of time talking. The video was too long. I'm probably going to have to cut a lot out of it. But the Black Energy drink, we've had a couple of these before. We've had the Black Samurai, we've had the sake flavour, which was a cherry and ginger. And we had the mango one, which was a mango flavour. Now, I got these from the Eastern European import shop, so they're not made for the UK market. There is 32 milligrams per 100 ml of something that I assume to be caffeine. And this one won't have any sugar, so I won't try and find out. And this one, oh, excuse me, 43 calories per 100 ml. 10 grams of something per 100 ml, so I assume that's sugar. 10 grams. We've got a full sugar energy drink. Now, you might have noticed, when you think of Poland, think of all your famous international Polish athletes. We've got Robert L 9 sponsoring Oshi. We've done a video on that will hopefully be live by the time this goes up. But obviously Black couldn't get Robert L 9, so they had to go for the next best Polish athlete they could, and that's Mike Tyson. Famous Polish athlete. Everyone knows Mike Tyson. He is a boxer. He has a face tattoo. And he's got inspiring words that he puts on the can. As long as we persevere and endure, we can get anything we want. Without discipline, no matter how good you are nothing. No. Well, that one's quite hurtful. That's not what I want to read when I'm about to do my second energy drink video of the day. And without discipline, I wouldn't be drinking Black Energy. Or rather, with discipline. With discipline, I wouldn't be drinking it. So, yeah, not sure how smart that one was to put there. That's just made me feel bad. Oh well. He's over in Poland anyway, he won't be watching this video. Start with the original one. Best thing about doing these videos rather than talking to people in real life is I don't know at this point if those jokes have fallen flat, so I don't need to feel ashamed or awkward going forward. As if we were having a real conversation and those jokes fell flat, then I'd be a bit put out and embarrassed, but I don't need to feel any more embarrassed than I already am being overweight and drinking energy drink videos for YouTube, so it's all good. The jokes don't do me any damage until I get the comments come in. For now, we're good, we're happy. It smells like an original energy drink, that's for sure. It smells very sweet, but then it did say 10 grams or something, I assume to be sugar, so it's going to be sweet compared to a lot of the ones we looked at lately, compared to a lot of the ones that are marketed for the UK specifically, because they're all cutting down, all the budget ones especially. Like used to be a big problem that all the budget ones would just be loaded with sugar and they'd all taste naff, they'd just taste of sugar and not much else. But then with the sugar tax coming in, they've had to up the game a bit, because they're only putting in 5 grams of sugar max per 100 ml. Cheers. Because of course it'd still be cheaper to make them with that much sugar, but they can't sell them for cheaper. So, you know, with their target market, nobody's going to pay the sugar tax on top of what they cost. Cheers. Like I say, this one isn't a budget one. It's very sweet, it's very smooth. It's very smooth, I'll say that about it. Like I say, we have had a couple of drinks from Black before. I've had a couple years ago. Probably had this original one years ago. I picked it up in Tesco, 19p, and drank it warm. So I do say this isn't a budget energy drink necessarily. It's just a Polish energy drink. But most of the time when you see it, it's in Tesco dead cheap. It's in Home Bargains dead cheap. These ones I think were 59p in the Polish shop, so you know, with the cost of importing it and everything, they're selling it in the Eastern European import shop for just 59p, so it must still be pretty cheap. Yes. Goes down nicely. It's not as fizzy as those other two I've had today. It's lovely and smooth. It's very sweet. Very sweet. I'm expecting to prefer this one. If it's as smooth, but with less sugar in, hopefully it should be. Well, I mean, I know it's got less sugar in, it's got 0 sugar in. Oh dear. I've not woken up yet today. Don't know if you've noticed. That's why I'm doing 2 energy drink reviews. I'm sharing these with my girlfriend, so you know, 4 250ml cans divided by 2 is just 1 500ml can, just a can of Monster, you know, in terms of caffeine and sugar and everything. So I'm not, it's not like I'm having more than usual. Yeah, I'm tasting 4 cans, but you know, she's having half of each one. It's the weekend, you know, it's just like having a can each. Not sure if she'll actually even have that much, so I might save some for tomorrow or something. Yeah, for having 10 grams of sugar, that's really smooth, really balanced. It's impressive. It's maybe a bit on the sweet side, but you know, if you know it's got 10 grams of sugar in, you'd expect it to be a bit on the sweet side, so that's not necessarily a criticism. For me, that's a bit too syrupy, but as far as drinks with that much sugar in them go, with the exception of things like Monster Ripper, you know, the juice drinks, that's really, really balanced. Try the sugar-free one. Smells a bit sharper. Does smell. It's funny. Sometimes you can't smell much. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can smell the sugar in them. But yeah. Cheers. It does seem a bit fizzier. Certainly less syrupy. Certainly less smooth. I think the sugar has really helped smooth this one out. This one's less smooth. It's also a little bit more bitter. It feels like they have sort of restrained themselves with the sweeteners and not put too much in. But, you know, if you're worried about artificial sweet, well, first of all, if you're worried about artificial sweeteners, probably won't be watching any videos on this channel. But you know, if you are worried about artificial sweeteners and you're drinking sugar-free energy drinks anyway, now this one I can't read the text, it's all in Polish, but presumably it doesn't have much because it doesn't taste like it has much. It's not very sweet at all. I mean, there is sweetness there, but it doesn't taste sweet. You can actually taste the bitterness of the caffeine coming through, which would ordinarily be a bad thing. There's drinks like Tenzing, a lot of the natural drinks that try and not use any artificial flavours and use a bit of sugar to sweeten it, but not a lot of sugar because we don't want it to be full of sugar and unhealthy. We want to market it as a healthy energy drink. A lot of the time with them, the bitterness comes through, and it's a bad thing because that's all you can taste because there's no real flavour there. This one's still got that sort of loaded artificial energy drink flavour. And bitter, talk about bitter like it's a bad thing, but dark chocolate, coffee, those things are bitter. If you have coffee and you don't put syrup or sweetener or sugar in it, this one might be for you. Obviously, if you're an energy drink drinker, a lot of people who drink black coffee probably won't be drinking energy drinks anyway. But if you think, oh, all energy drinks are too sweet, I'd rather have a coffee because it's because I'm sweet enough. Maybe try that one. Yes. Again, if you're not into sweet things, you're going to taste that and think, that's sweet. It's going to be sweet. There's no getting around it. But as energy drinks go, that's really not sweet, and there is bitterness coming through. Personally, I would call that bitter. But if you don't eat or drink sweet things, then you might still think that's sweet. That's really interesting. Might get that more often. Yes. It's nice. It's a bit of a change. It's a nice, refreshing change. Oh, excuse me. It is more gassy than this one, though. It is more gassy than the one with sugar in. But yeah, shocking revelations. Usually they try and make these two as close as possible. It's just a zero sugar version of the same thing. But these are really polar opposites. In a way, they both taste of energy drink, don't get me wrong, but they're, in a large way, quite opposed to each other. So, yeah, if you've had either of them, or both of them, let me know what you think. If you've had neither of them, then give one a go. If you're one of the people watching who's not necessarily into energy drinks but still doesn't mind the caffeine, I know some people say, oh, energy drinks are bad but they still drink caffeine anyway. Maybe give this one a go. Maybe. Yeah. Let us know what you think of them if you do try them, especially if you try them on my recommendation. I'd hate. I'm always torn when I recommend anything, when I say go out and try it. I don't mind so much recommending energy drinks that are only 50p. Which, if it's 50p, it's 50p. I know 50p still can be a lot of money to a lot of people, but I don't think their biggest problems would be choosing which energy drink to try. But yeah, when I recommend something, I'm always so torn and anxious because I think somebody goes out and spends their hard-earned money on that because I've said it's nice and then they don't like it, then that's my fault and I feel guilty. But then at the same time, maybe that's giving myself too much credit. I don't want to be arrogant and think that people really think that much of what I'm suggesting or recommending. So is it is it arrogant to feel anxious about people going out and buying something because of my recommendation? Because obviously the implication of the anxiety is that I think my words have that much weight to people, whereas I don't necessarily. You know, I don't want to go around thinking that, but then at the same time we get comments like, so it's mostly on the sneak video actually, which is surprising because I didn't feel as though we were overwhelmingly positive towards that. I felt like we were quite balanced, and especially myself, I think I said that I preferred G Fuel to it, but you know, we've had people saying, oh, thanks for this video, I've ordered Sneak on the back of this. I'm thinking, 40 quid for a tub of Sneak because of our video. Really hope you like it, because 40 quid's a lot more than 50p. But yeah, that's enough of that rambling. That's something to speak to a therapist about, not YouTube. But thanks very much for joining us. We will see you next time. Cheers.